the pot. We're going to reuse the pot as well. So here we have some plants available that had some limited success. Here we have other pots that I'm going to show you that grew pretty well. So let's take a look at what we got. So here I am, and I have some plants that I started from seed, and we've had some limited success. Some plants, they didn't quite make it, and so we are going to reuse some of the soil. We're going to reuse the plot. One of the YouTube videos was talking about actually planting tomatoes with store-bought tomatoes. So we've got these two that I'm going to try, and then some grape tomatoes. Got to make sure that the slices that I use actually have seeds in them, okay? I'm going to go down maybe about 2 inches or so. I've got tomato seeds I can plant today right there, and then we can compare it to how we planted the whole tomatoes, and hopefully we'll have at least some tomatoes that survive until these peat pellets expand. My peat pellets are all expanded, so I'm going to put about 2 to 3 seeds per pellet. So here I've got 2 seeds right there. Put them right in there. So I rigged this up here. I put soil in. I'm going to try and get 2 tomato plants per chamber there. So here I've got my shelf of tomatoes. Let's grow! Hello, tomatoes. Looks like we have something happening there. And there's a little glimmer of hope for those tomatoes. And those tomatoes are coming along pretty well. Gardening doesn't come with an immediate win. It takes time to see progress. Sometimes more than you're comfortable with, but isn't that kind of like life? From what I'm learning about gardening is it takes a tremendous amount of planning and thought. But also sometimes when you're experiencing victory, you have to think ahead to the future, needing to make tough decisions. You see how these look kind of cluttered. They're competing with each other. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be trimming them off. But gardening is an experiment, right? This is the store-bought tomato that we had planted, and look how it's doing now. This is the other store-bought slice. These were planted from slices, but not every one of them quite worked out. This was the grape tomatoes here. This one did come up with something. 1 seed germinated and sprouted. The way to do it is to trim off the ones that aren't going to make it. So there we are now. These here in the round pots were actually some that we had trimmed, cut off, and we're about to throw away, and thought, hey, we've got nothing to lose. We know that tomatoes have these little hairs on them that can develop into roots. So let's go ahead and plant them. Now that was a couple of days ago, and they are recovering. It sure does look like. And this is our tomatoes after we had pruned them. Okay, now this is what I'm really excited about, because we took something that was trash. We took off the onion that we wanted to cook with, and then the part that we were just going to throw away anyway, the part with our roots on, we decided to turn it into something. So sometimes you can take something that is trash and turn it into something productive. And look at how our experiment is going now. We've got onions sprouting right there in that row. I planted 3. I got 3 right there. These were leeks. They're doing awesome. I got another onion that's pushing through right here. All over the place we see victories from failures. So gardening is an experiment, and oftentimes in an experiment you have trials that don't come out the way that you were hoping. But then look at what did work. Let me give you an update on what the VLA garden looks like. We got snap peas here. They're doing awesome. Okay, we planted these from seeds back in March. I did a previous video where I actually planted onions that sprouted right here. You see how I have some failures? But I also have some victories right there. Now those failures, I haven't completely given up on them. They might be doing something underground. I'll let them keep going. But look at this. Sometimes you can just take advantage of things that you didn't plant. These were volunteer. These are from a previous year. And I took advantage of what was already there. Check out our cilantro here. Our cilantro is doing excellent. We have some chives. We have some parsley, but then we also have 2 other plants of volunteer something or other. This is sage, and this, guessing it's basil.